All right, so I've got a big question. Have you ever gotten back together with an ex, or wished you could get together with an ex, or an ex has come back for you? Well, this is something that comes up a lot in my business. I am Jacqueline, professional matchmaker with Discover Love Matches. And I am super intrigued by this because personally, I don't know what it is, must be something in the air, and I'm sure there's something mojo going on because in the last few months, I have had so many people from my past reappear that it has been really intriguing. Even somebody I met one time 4.5 years ago and didn't keep in touch at all, didn't even know who they were when they messaged me. It really made me start to think, who's thinking about us out there? Who's wondering if there's another chance? Who's wondering, just kind of what we're up to? It's not just about falling in love with this person again, which obviously if it's somebody I didn't really date, it's not somebody I was in love with, but it's that intrigue we have. There's those people we meet and we think, I wonder what could have happened, what the possibilities could have been. So before I started shooting this video, I did a little homework and did a survey, and I was amazed at the response that I got from people. Very clearly, people were saying that they don't really believe in going back, giving somebody another chance. It was pretty black and white. There were very few that were open to it or had even tried to go out with an ex again. And then I really was intrigued by when I said, what do you miss the most about an ex that you still think about? It was the sex. It was the intimacy. It was the closeness. And I think we forget how vulnerable we are when we really, really care about somebody. We really love them. And I have to say, in all my years as a matchmaker, I do all these private, quiet, conversations with people when they get started in my program. And I ask them about past relationships. I ask them what, happened. Where are they at now from where they were? And majority of them that had a long-term relationship say they really wish they'd worked on it more, they tried more, and few of them actually say they'd go back now that there's more time, just because I think that people think you can't, and they think going back is a bad thing, when really sometimes it's bad timing, sometimes it's just life circumstances, sometimes it's maturity, it's life experiences. There's so many variables that disrupt relationships at any stage, whether you're in high school, college, your 20s, or in your 50s and 60s and 70s. It's life. We have a crazy, crazy little life that we live, and we have people that get to come and go, and some that just come and never stick around. So I've been very intrigued because I recently had somebody significant in my past reappear and tell me that they had been trying to figure out a way to reappear for quite some time. And so we managed to stop and just enjoy a drink or two together and have a really nice conversation. And initially, it was kind of like, okay, is this going to be weird or awkward? That was actually what he said. Is this too awkward to ask you this? And I'm obviously in the love industry, so I'm super open to these things, and I'm very curious. And I kept thinking, I just want to see this play out. Where does this go? And I have to admit, at first, I was a little nervous. It had been quite a long time since I talked to this person on a very one-to-one basis. But it didn't end bad. It just kind of fizzled out. We both had some things going on in our lives and couldn't really support a relationship. So there wasn't any negativity or animosity. And I don't really think you should go back to a relationship that was unhealthy. So it was one of those situations where I have to say it felt really great talking about what I liked about him and what I didn't like, and him doing the same thing in a loving, kind, nurturing way where we just enjoyed each other. There was no expectation. There was not any tension of expecting something more. It was just a moment in time that we could appreciate. And I think about other people that have reached out to me, and sometimes I don't really respond because I'm like, oh, I'm not interested in them. But then I stop and think now, well, what if I just gave them that time for a respectful conversation? How much nicer that could be for them too. Like, what is it that we're holding on to? What are we denying? Why are we so black and white, not just a little bit of gray, on allowing ourselves to be a little bit closer? So this is a chance. I really want you to stop and think about it. Like, are there people that you could be polite to if you saw them again? Or are there people that you've just holding so much pain inside and so you can't forgive them for whatever happened? I feel like from all the feedback I get from surveys and one-on-one times with my clients and years as a matchmaker in my own personal life, I think it kind of comes down to we need to love each other a lot more. You know, we screw up on our dating. We screw up on our courtship. We screw up. Come on, let's just be human. But are we holding people at such a high standard? Are we holding people with so much distance and push that things are getting resolved, or are we not? You know, I was reading one of the surveys of a beautiful gal. I know her well. And she says that she's just spends too much time pining for someone that it didn't work. So that's hard. But, you know, if you could sit down and have a conversation with that person after the breakup, you know, it might have helped her move on and not feel like there was unsaid words that were still floating out there. And I think that we need to give each other a lot more respect, like we did when we first were falling for one another. And respect goes both ways, respecting yourself enough to give that person a chance to at least say what was on their mind, and respect enough to just enjoy them for who they are. I really want you to dive into the comments and tell me about times that you've either wished you did, or you actually did reach out to somebody, or are you with somebody that you broke up with, that you guys got back together after an extended time period apart. I'm just fascinated by this, because the more that I do the work that I do, the more that I'm starting to think, did we have chances that we screwed up? Did we miss? Did we not give a chance to bloom into something? I'm not saying that they were supposed to be the love of your life after whatever reason the relationship didn't work, but could they become a friend? Could they have been an acquaintance? Could they have been somebody that if you saw at the restaurant, you'd be like, hi, and not cringe? Because you know those times when you're sitting there at a place and you kind of look and go, I think that's my ex. And you don't even want to engage. But yet at one point, you thought they were adorable and awesome and handsome and beautiful. So I'm wondering, what is it that is making this so awkward that we can't just appreciate we had a history? Thankfully, somebody loved us at one point. Somebody enjoyed us. And as the survey answers kept coming in, I was getting that there's mostly, I think a lot of the pain comes because the people are missing the intimacy. They're missing the sexual connection. They're missing closed door time. And that is fascinatingly intriguing, because now I'm starting to think, if you're missing it, are they missing it too? I mean, when I just had this great conversation with this person from my past, we just laughed about things that we, enjoyed when we were dating. We had a great time reminiscing. I was a little bit more sarcastic and laughing at things because I wasn't trying to impress him because we weren't together anymore. I was enjoying just being very real, a little sassy. But, I think that's the part that we're missing out on, these juicy, awesome, wonderful conversations with people that cared about us at some point that we could learn from. Maybe we'll find out that we did something really great, not for them as a long-term person, but great in that relationship. That is something we maybe stop doing with the new people we're dating. You can learn a lot from your exes. It was a great experience for me to do recently, and I'm just kind of curious what sparks could happen if we just love a little bit more. So I'd love for you to subscribe, because I've got great tips and ideas to keep sharing for you and all of our fabulous listeners. And, adding a little like and a comment would be awesome, because I got so many more topics to cover. So keep enjoying, keep loving, because you know what? We're all here just looking to find love, enjoy love, and keep love. I am Jacqueline, professional matchmaker, and with Discover Love Matches, and I'm on a mission to figure out, are we missing the boat when there's another chance for love, or are we missing a chance for some great friendships, or should we just keep on walking forward and not look back? I mean, the rearview mirror is little, but there's still some pretty good things in the rearview mirror. And sometimes it's more about circling around to give somebody a chance at being who they need to be. Alrighty, let me know below what it is that intrigues you so we can discover and discuss this topic a little bit more. Talk to you soon.